Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us. My name is Tamila Rajasingham, and this is Jacob Shireman. We are the founders of Marketing and Mindset. We are a full service real estate marketing agency. At the same time, we're also real estate agents. We're also global team leaders. I'm based in Toronto, and Jacob is based in Houston, Texas. And if you're watching this, please make sure you say hello and feel free to join in the conversation and ask us any questions in the comment section below, because we are going to be covering a lot of different strategies in here. And if this is new to you or you haven't heard of this before and you want us to kind of break it down, feel free to ask. And the reason why we're doing this is because we work with a lot of team leaders and brokers on a daily basis. And this is a really important topic. A lot of people in the real estate industry are not aware of. And I think this is why we want to take the time to kind of break some of these strategies down for you and what is really important for you as a team leader or a broker to have in place in order to grow your business over time, and particularly from the real estate marketing perspective. So I'm going to just hand it over to Jacob to kind of break down everything that we're going to be talking about today.
Yeah, so today we just wanted to kind of help you understand marketing for real estate, especially targeted to brokers and team leaders. And a lot of people are talking about agents, but what about brokers and team leaders? Because right now, a lot of brokers and team leaders are wasting time and money on strategies that just don't work. There's a lot of competition in the market right now for brokerages to find top producers and to keep those top producers. And how do you do that in this unique time that we have with this market shift? And how do you set up a business that can withstand this new market shift and correction that's coming? So this video is, in this live today, is for people that are looking to dominate and compete into your local market, and specifically looking to grow and scale your business and create a sustainable business through marketing. And that's what we're here to talk about today.
That's awesome. And first and foremost, if you know me and you watch my content, you know that I love a good content and conversation around CRMs and having some proper systems and process in place. So I think that's a really good place to start off. First, do you as a team leader have a proper system and process in place? And what I mean by that is, do you have a custom URL? So not part of your brokerage, you as a team have a custom URL, IDX, so your MLS integrated website. And do you have proper lead generation system on autopilot that's integrated for you to help bring in leads, to help support your team and have sustainable growth, ensuring that your agents are also equipped with being able to grow and attract leads, and also have the autonomy to grow and run their own business as well, right? A lot of the time that you're really focused on helping grow the team on a larger level, but they're not running, especially if they're not running and trying to find ownership or freedom elsewhere. It's so important that you make sure that you as a team leader, you have a lot of control over your database, but at the same time you're providing that assistant for your team and ensuring that there's a fluid communication between your team. You understand your team members and your agents were having conversation with clients and kind of overseeing your database on an overarching level. And that's why a CRM is so important. But a lot of people have CRMs, but sometimes it's this one CRM that only one person oversees. Make sure your agents are in there, make sure everyone's using it, because they're also business owners as well, right? They're independent contract, workers, but they're working with you to grow this one larger team. But make sure that they feel that they're part of the team and they have ownership of the team. So that's really important. And we completely understand that you wanted to have this control, but which is why having a CRM and ensuring the leads are managed in one place at the same time, so that your agents can focus on transaction and promoting themselves and the team, is so important. And which is why growing the team brand is a really another aspect of this that I wanted to talk about when it comes to CRM. Does your CRM give you that ability to integrate lead generation, run multiple ads that are funneling leads directly into your CRM, so that all of your agents aren't running their own ads that look different? So making sure that your marketing efforts that are being sent out by all of your agents are managed and are controlled and have a unique, the same look and feel, but also the same messaging as your team. So making sure that all of that in one place, and the best way to do that is having to run that through a CRM. Or of course you can do a lot of it through your native platform, but again, you having control as a team leader is so important, especially when it comes to that overarching strategy. And having that ownership is so important, right? And the other thing that I really wanted to touch upon, and I want to hand it over to Jacob to do this, is that, do you truly understand SEO and online optimization, and how does that play into all of this when it comes to your website, CRM integration? So Jacob, can you just touch up on that a little bit about why SEO and online optimization is so important as a broker or team leader?
Yeah, I mean, what the first thing that we need to understand is the difference between a standalone website in your CRM and just a profile page. And unfortunately, a lot of brokerages or team leaders are using just a profile page where it is literally, your brokerage.com slash the person's name. And they don't really have a custom page. They don't have their own custom feed of the MLS. And that can be a problem with SEO because their page is no different than anybody else's, and they don't really have it tie directly into their own CRM. But if you have a standalone website where it's logged into a subdomain and it is their leads, their information, they have several pages of a website to go through, that is going to give it more power on the SEO side. And so for search engine optimization, there's such an importance in making sure that your pages are labeled correctly, that you have great headers, descriptions, all of your service areas are in there. And you can only do that when you have your own standalone site. And there's a lot of great CRMs out there. We use KV Core, and KV Core gives you your own customizable website with a different look and feels. You can upload images. And so you want to find something around that to give your team, because you want them to be able to stand out with SEO. Because if everybody's page reads the same, everybody's page kind of looks the same, it's not really going to compete with SEO, and it's not going to have that authority to climb up those pages in the search engine rankings. And on top of that, your overall domain will have a little more SEO power because you have all of these standalone sites attached to that domain. So it's a very important to go more towards the standalone independent websites. Yes, it's a little more, but the return on your investment will be so much greater than just a quick profile page, or even making your agents go out and get their own website. Now they're wasting time again and valuable resources that could be used on income producing activities, and now they're having to worry about setting this up. So definitely recommend finding a CRM with a standalone website. So this is a great segue into talking about mastermind calls. One of the things that we try to do regularly with our group at our brokerage is to have, daily yet weekly mastermind calls and trainings for agents. And one thing to think about when you're providing these mastermind calls is, one, you want to kind of have training on these calls that encompass every different type of agent. Sometimes you have newer agents, or some that are not as experienced as a seasoned agent. And then you have top producers who are constantly looking to go to the next level. And do you have trainings for them, or do you just only get them to that point and then they figure it out on their own? And, we do stuff on sales production, lead generation, marketing, social media marketing specific. And another key aspect of doing your mastermind calls is the people doing the training. Are they up to date? Are they professionals in their field, or they somebody that maybe hasn't done anything for 5-10 years and all they do are these calls? You want to make sure that the person providing the training is always up with current trends, and that they know and have an authority on what they're talking about, that your agents can get that. And another thing about mastermind calls that we love, especially we do them on Zoom so we can record them, is having a great library of these mastermind calls. Because sometimes you get a new agent or an agent that's hungry and they can go watch all these videos, and to have a huge library of training mastermind videos and calls is a huge resource for you to be able to attract agents and keep them, because they're constantly getting the training that they need. So, Tharmila, why don't you talk about some more about how we do weekly trainings and some recommendations we have for that?
Absolutely. And, when Jacob touched upon the mastermind calls, remember the mastermind call is when you're bringing multiple people together, all of your agents and team together, so they can share ideas among each other. So you're growing as a team. So no one's really competing. It's always collaboration over competition. So that's very important. And you're creating a synergy. A lot of time when I'm sitting down with agents who are looking to explore other brokerages or team, the first thing they say to me is, oh, I feel like I'm competing with people in my own team. I want to be around people that have a good culture and community. So that's one thing. So that's what Jacob talked about. And the other thing that I want to talk to you about is just giving them training with people that are qualified, top producers, thought leaders of whatever topic that you're going to bring them to run, right? We're part of a brokerage that we have 50 plus hours of training every single week, so that you as a team leader are not caught up with being pulled in a number of different ways to give them information, right? To help in all aspects of the real estate agent's business. And this is going to funnel into them having more time into promoting themselves. You as a leader leader have to ensure that it is your responsibility to help grow your agent's business. And remember, this is for the growth of the team, not just for your benefit or anything like that. So really understanding that it's about your team and not just yourself is so important, and especially when it comes to social media, making sure that you're providing up to date training, keeping with modern trends so that you're capitalizing on that for you and your team. And also, for newer agents, make sure you have maybe a mentorship program or something that you can pair up with other agents so that qualified top producers are coming with, giving access to their own listings and access to open houses. And that, and it's a natural synergy for agents who have access to all of these leads and actual transactions that are happening, that can spill into helping out with newer agents so that you now have content to promote. Does that make sense? To help you grow your team as an overall. So making sure that there's people that you're bringing in who are good at what they do, that are thought leaders and have authority in whatever topic that they're running, and particularly in the marketing sense, so that you're not spending, again, money and time using people that don't really have that kind of credibility or proven track record. And this is why even just having a place where a lot of resources, marketing resources, are available is so important, so that you're not being pulled when someone is confused about, let's say they want to get on YouTube and you don't know how that works. You have a training in place for that, where you can just plug them in and then they can take that and run with it. And so every team member is taking on a prospecting or lead generation strategy that works best for them, so they can grow their business and, again, have the autonomy and that freedom and ownership to be able to do that. And for you to give that kind of resources is so important. And speaking about resources, I think I'm gonna just hand it over to Jacob to kind of really walk you down some of the resources that you should always have in your kind of content vault, that you're able to always provide to your agents when it comes to real estate marketing.
Yeah, and again, going back to my point in the beginning, like right now, it is really hard for brokerages to compete with other brokerages, whether it's getting deals and on top of that, getting good agents and agents to join your brokerage. You always have to sell yourself and what you're providing for those agents. So, what do your marketing resources look like for your agents? And one thing to constantly think about, yes, some of these resources can cost money ahead of time, but your return on investment is going to be so much more, because a lot of things that Thermil and I have seen working with agents, especially on the marketing side, is a lot of agents are wasting so much time in their branding, marketing, and their admin tasks that they're not dedicating enough to income producing activities. And if your agents aren't dedicating enough to those income producing activities, well, then your brokerage is not going to do well. It's not competing, and you don't have a sustainable business. And a lot of that starts with this foundation of marketing resources. And what should your marketing resources look like for your agents? I'm a firm believer that you should definitely have a lot of templates available. So for business cards, for sales signs, um, branding guides, buyer's guides, seller's guides, everything that they could need to get the ground running. Because even if you're bringing over a top producer, or you're bringing over another agent or a new agent starting with you, they all have to change the branding to go now with the new brokerage. And for you to have some business card templates that they can use, and we're not talking about printing this stuff for them or paying for their signs, they can pay for that. But the time and effort that it goes to putting a nice brand together, you can hire a marketing company or have somebody in-house design all these templates for you, and all the agent has to do is take that template, put their name, their logos in there, and now they have a business card. And so it's very important for you to have those marketing things. So, and another resource that kind of gets left out is people always think about maybe more of the print marketing side, but all of your digital marketing aspects, social media. We see so many agents on a daily basis posting and struggling with what to post to social media, that their feed just turns in them looking like Zillow or another real estate magazine, because they think it always has to be house related and this listing and this marketing temp, that they lose that unique aspect of who they are as a realtor and who they are as a person to connect with their audience. So providing some type of strategy, social media templates, content ideas, and content strategy for your agents is so extremely important, because everybody should be on social media. It's not a debate whether old school methods and new school methods work. We all know a combination of both is what everybody needs, and everybody needs to be on there. And but not waste so much time, because social media is such a long-term strategy. So having a way that your agents can put their social media essentially in autopilot is something that you want to be able to provide for them. And another thing that we're going to cover, and I'm going to hand it back to Tharmila, is talking about team building and leadership opportunities are so important in growing your brokerage and creating a sustainable business.
Absolutely. In the process of you having to have systems in place to kind of bring in leads is one thing, but how do you make sure we're really in a business of attrition, right? A lot of we're naturally having real estate agents just jumping from teams to teams and brokerage to brokerage. So how do you allow to ensure that that is another thing that you have in place as a team and providing team building opportunities? So really good example is, when someone is in your team that is doing a really good job, and over time they feel driven and motivated to start their own team, you never want them to leave, and these top producers to leave your team and start their own team, when if you had given them an ownership opportunity or partnership opportunity to build their own team. So making sure you have a process in place for your team to be able to grow their own team within your group is so important. So that retention, you're always thinking about retention, because guess what? If someone is within your team that have built this amazing, a following online, or a brand that is an offset of yours, remember they're helping promote this overarching brand that you as a team is creating. And if they were to leave, they're almost like an ambassador. So people are going to follow them, and there's going to be a disconnect between all the work that you've done. So it's really important that you're always thinking about that too, is that every time we talk about real estate marketing, we're always talking about what does this mean for you as a business? What does it mean for you as a system? And having some processes in place that is going to allow you to grow over time. And it's not just about growth, it's about sustainable growth, right? And lastly, what I wanted to leave you with, what Jacob alluded to at the beginning of this call is brokers standing out in this market shift is so important. And a lot of businesses might not survive when this correction comes in. How do you keep up and level up? Do you have value proposition in place to attract agents? Do you have process and systems in place for them to grow their own business, to grow a really sustainable business? And they're not just doing this as part-time agents, they're able to transition into full-time agents, and having a proper lead generation strategy so they're not always depending on you, so they are able to again have the autonomy to grow their own business, so they're not always relying on you, but at the same time you have a proper lead generation process for you as a team. And this is why we want to be able to, now I'm going to pass it on to Jacob to kind of share his screen and share some things that we do for brokers and team leaders when it comes to real estate marketing.
Yeah. Here's our website, marketingmindset.biz, and we have exclusive packages just for brokers. And a lot of things you'll see on our website are more geared to the agent and the individual branding aspect. But we do have branding packages for brokerage, and we can do custom packages for your agents. We can do everything. We're a full service company. So as you see, we do branding, social media, consulting services, video editing, web design. We even do some KV core trainings, and we can even provide trainings to your agents as well, from marketing trainings to social media trainings. And a lot of times brokerages will sit down with us, and before they decide on any branding package that we have, they'll hire us to do a consultation and look at business strategies for them and how they can improve certain areas that we talked about today. And so that option is available too. If you just need to see if you're going in the right direction, or maybe you need some new, fresh ideas, we can definitely provide that for you. But anything from branding to logo design, creating business card templates for your agents, social media templates, we have all that available for you because we are a full service marketing company. And one thing that we also provide is our new social media content platform, which is called Karuvi Social. And with Karuvi, we are providing daily strategy, daily content, hashtags, editable templates, and everything your agent needs to grow your business. And brokerages have been loving this because it is a very valuable tool for their agents to not spend a lot of time on social media, but also be able to grow their following, create an amazing brand, and generate their following into leads. And it's very inexpensive for a brokerage if you wanted to provide this for your agents. So I want to do a quick tour of this platform. And this platform's main area, every area on the website is described here. So you get a breakdown on what those areas are. But our biggest thing is our content planner. And with our content planner, you can see that we have 31 days of strategy. They get access to the following month about 10 days before. They can access the previous month, and they can even access the following month after the 20th. So they're constantly having a rotating 60 days of content on this website. And the way we break down this content planner is for two ways. So we have what we call DIY posts, where we give you the strategy and what you need to post for that day, and your agents would provide the content, so the media. So that would be, a photo, a video, whether maybe we're telling you to do a video tour that day, or to our local business, anything to promote them as a local authority in that area. Because where a lot of agents make the mistake with social media is they think they just got to sell houses. Everybody can sell a house. You're selling the lifestyle and the area that they're going to live in, and why they should live in that side of town versus another side of town. And then we also have editable templates. So these templates that you see here, whether it's a mindset, a seller tip, a market report, we have those where your agents can easily edit them, customize them to their brand. So that way, no post should ever look the same. You're not competing with other people in your area. They're adding their own branding and touch to it. And those are easily editable in Canva with a Canva free account. Obviously, they can use a pro account. But this is a great way to give agents inside your brokerage literally social media on autopilot, so that way they're dedicating more towards income producing activities. We had an agent literally tell us that we saved them about 2 to 3 hours a day, because they would literally spend that searching social media to see what other realtors are posting. Especially as new realtors, they have not only had to learn how to be a real estate agent, but now what to teach and what value to provide. And so this is a very strategy based platform that, a lot of our agents are seeing about 40 to 50 followers new a month. And one of our agents, the most we had was about 120 followers a month. Literally no social media experience. They literally just took this platform, followed it, and customized it for their area and for their brokerage, and literally have taken off. And the way we do this for brokerages, we offer packages based on the number of licenses you need, and your brokerage will have a login. So that way you can buy volume-based licensing, and you can go in and with your brokerage account and assign logins to your agents. So if you have a new agent come in, or maybe you have one leave, so you can either add one or take one away. But you can provide this amazing resources. And a few other things it has real quick is we have extra stuff in the Content Depot. This is just additional posts. So maybe they have a coming soon. Maybe they have a holiday coming up that they want to use. Every one of these, even the holiday posts, are all strategy based to be able to leverage other businesses and other organizations following to get in front of an audience that you would have never been able to get in front of. Whether you have a coming soon listing, an event listing, a just sold listing, we have templates for that. We even have some sample branding templates, whether it's some basic for sale signs, business cards, writers, even Facebook ads. We have some Facebook and Instagram ad copy, all a part of our additional resources. And we also provide step-by-step tutorials on how to use each section and get the most out of it. So this is definitely something I highly recommend that you take a look into. You can definitely schedule a call with us. We can go into a more in-depth demo and show you how this can work for your business.
Thank you so much, Jacob. I think this is a really great example of something that you can do that, gives you a really good perspective as to bringing your agents in, plugging them in, and letting them run with their own business. And at the same time, really creating a lead generation strategy that is helping them out and creating their own really systems in place to grow. So a lot of the time when team leaders bring in agents, they have so much control over them that you want them to try this one way of working, and really giving them an autonomy to grow is so important. And so thank you, Jacob, for really breaking down a lot of the things that we share as team. Remember, any questions you have, Jacob and I run trainings as well. We're happy to kind of tune in virtually into your brokerage and have run trainings, give them some really good strategy for each of you agents to run and create their own social media plan. If there's someone who's equipped who already have some social media background, but they just wanted a little bit more strategy for the real estate business, we're happy to do that. This is something that we do often for a lot of private brands, so we're happy to do that. And this is why we kind of segued into the real estate industry, because we are real estate agents. So everything we provide is really to the real estate industry. So if you have any questions at all and you want to reach out to us, you're able to get in touch with us anytime. But one of the things that I wanted to mention to you before we jump off is that stay tuned, guys. We're going to be here almost every single week. We're going to be talking a lot about real estate marketing, really breaking down a lot of strategies that are not being shared online. And remember, Jacob and I, we're marketers that turn real estate agents. We have years, 25 plus combined years of working in the marketing sector. And this is what we want to share with you, is to give you tons of, if you haven't noticed already, everything that we share is a lot of strategy based. It's not just templates. So everything that we do is strategy based, is really individualized and customized for you to grow your own brand. And it's not just for a short amount of time, for a long period of time. This is why we talked a little bit about the market shift. So if you have any questions at all, please feel free to get in touch with us. And thank you again, Jacob, for joining me. Once again, my name is Tamila Rajasingham. This is Jacob Shireman. We are the founders of Marketing and Mindset. We're also real estate agents and global team leaders. And once again, I'm tuning in from Toronto. Jacob's tuning in from Houston, Texas. We'll see you next time. See you guys.
Bye.